Hi guys, this is Damni Jewel from Telecom Lead. The telecom landscape is growing complex day by day. Today's competitive environment brings huge opportunities but equal number of challenges to telcos. To usher in modern era driven by machine intelligence and analytics, telcos need to evolve into digital service providers. Subex, an analytics firm, is helping telcos pursue their goals in the digital era by helping them optimize their resources and protect their revenue streams. Here we have Mr. Sanjay, Senior Director Analytics Services, to talk how Subex solutions for the industry.
So, as everyone knows, data is the new natural resource. And from Subex point of view, we have been dealing with data since last 25 years. While we serve a lot of telcos around the world, and telcos have been dealing with data since 25 years, right? Of late, especially after smartphone penetration, the rate at which data has been generating at telcos is humongously increased. So from Subex point of view, we have been working on analytics since a decade plus. So while we were working in last 10 plus years with a lot of telecom operators in terms of solving their specific problems, when we were working with them, so we understood from them saying some of them have invested in some analytics tools, but they were unable to find their return on investment. So that has really led us to think very differently, very radically, and that has led us to come up with a very new innovative solution called Rock Insights. Rock Insights is an advanced analytics service. It's a man plus machine engagement. So basically, this would help all telco operators in terms of monetizing the data very effectively, right? So when we were discussing with telcos, they talked about quite a few challenges that they have been facing. The number one is the return on investment, which they have spent a lot of capex in buying a lot of analytics tools. And the number two challenge is in terms of the data accuracy and data availability. While industry has been talking about data warehouse, data lake, and so on, but this basic data accuracy and data availability still do exist, right? So, and the third point is also about in terms of making use of this data effectively for their own internal consumption and also for the external consumption, right? So a lot of these tools take a few months to do the initial implementation, and that is one of the major challenges what they have been facing, right? So this was one of the some of the challenges were on the table for us, and so what we have essentially done is that we took all these inputs and then we really radically thought through in terms of coming with our new solution, right? So basically we address all these problems with this is what we call as a trifecta effect, right? So what I mean by trifecta is I want to make sure that this agility problem is being addressed, right? And the second point is about I want to make sure that we address their ROI challenge, and I also want to make sure that analytics is being, our insights are being consumed very, very effectively, right? So when I talk about agility, there are two kinds of challenges that they were facing. One, in terms of time that it takes to implement the initial solution, and also the time that they were taking to move from, let's say, one area to the other area, right? Let's say currently they're working on, let's say, customer churn as a problem. If they have to move from customer churn to, let's say, product performance, and they were really spending good amount of effort or even the time to switch on to that, right? And we effectively address these two problems in our solution, which is Rock Insights, right? The second part about return on investment. So while we were designing or even in the basic conceptualization stage, we want to make sure that the cost of this whole solution is very, very minimal to them, right? So we have done two things. One is we worked on a lot of technology which is available in the market, for which customer they don't need to pay for it. They don't need to pay as part of the license. And second is in terms of we want to make sure that our solution runs on commodity hardware, thereby their cost in terms of hardware is going to be very, very minimal, right? Because this is one of the learning that we have seen in terms of spend that they were doing in terms of storage, in terms of those big enterprise servers. So that is what we have kept in our mind, and then we really worked out a solution which is going to run on a commodity hardware, which is going to be pretty cheap. And we also come up with a very, very innovative model called pay-as-you-go model, right? This is as part of the ROI. The third point is about consumption. When we were discussing with a lot of operators, even Gartner also talks about democratization of analytics, right? So gone are the days where analytics or insights are consumed by only specific set of people. There is a need where everybody and anybody within the organization need to make use of analytics, need to make use of these insights. So we wanted to really make sure that the insights which comes out of these tools are consumable by the end user irrespective of their department and so on, right? So that is one of the very, very innovative part that we have taken. Like generally you must have seen dashboards. Dashboards are good to an extent. For me, it has two set of problems that brings. One is the individual who is going to create a dashboard should have a decent amount of domain knowledge. The end user who is going to consume the dashboard also should have a similar amount of domain knowledge so that he will be able to consume it, right? And the other challenge that we generally see with dashboard is that one has to really hunt for an insight because dashboards are pretty complex in nature. So we want to make sure that insights are consumable very easily. So similar analogy to this is like a Twitter or a Facebook post, right? So instead of end user going to hunt for an insight, those insights are going to come to him in the form of, let's say, web, or maybe in the form of tablet, or in the form of mobile app. So our point of view is that as soon as anybody wants to see the insights, they should come to him in the form of very, very simple English text, right? And we call this as a storyboard. I think essentially we want to qualify something as an insight, provided it satisfies the three characteristics. One is consumable, contextual in nature, and then one can take action on that, right? So that is the best part about these Rock Insights. So we have taken a transformation from dashboard to storyboard. Storyboard typically comes up with a very, very intuitive and in a very, very simple English text. And it also comes up with a 360-degree business view around that, right? So that an individual who is looking at this storyboard should be able to consume easily, should be able to action on that, and it is going to be relevant for him or his function, basically, right? So these are the three main factors that we have addressed through our Rock Insights. And we also addressed one other important point about scalability. Scalability in two aspects. One is scalability from a data point of view in terms of the volume. Like, a lot of telcos are dealing with, the data in terms of, billions of records per day. So we designed our solution in terms of, scaling to that level, with very, very minimal hardware cost, right? And second part is also in terms of the data science. While I think data scientist is one of the sexiest jobs of this century, but availability of data scientist with the relevant domain knowledge is very, very difficult to get, right? So what we have done is that, so we have applied all our 20 plus years of knowledge in this telecom industry. So we have done automation of some of these domain signals, right? So when I say domain signal, let's say if I am making a call to you and call is unsuccessful for first two attempts, and the third attempt it is going to be successful, it is a domain signal to me because it tells me that there is likely an issue with network bandwidth. There is likely an issue with maybe customer experience, right? All such domain signals we have identified and then we have really automated them as part of my tool, right? So this helps me in terms of scaling it very easily. I really don't need a very, very sophisticated data scientist with domain for each and every business packs. Rather, I can manage with data analysts, right? So basically, in a sense, Rock Insights is an advanced analytics solution that would help operator in monetizing their data very effectively. And we have been able to work with a lot of customers on this, and customers have accepted this solution really well. Four major areas is where we really working on right now. One is risk analytics, product analytics, customer analytics, and then revenue analytics. So most of these are being used across customers across the geography, right? So having said that, our vision is that we want to be the partner for all telcos when it comes to analytics. So we want to be the partner of choice, and we want to make sure that all telcos are going to monetize their data very effectively. And just to bring you an analogy, if you really see a lot of internet companies like Google's and Facebook's, they've been able to monetize data very, very successfully. Whereas it's our experience, it's our understanding that telcos are lagging behind in this space, and we want to make sure that we work with them, we help them, we support them, we grow together with them, right? So that's what is our vision, and we are so far very successful, and we are sure that we will take it there. Thank you.